So this is Deb. Really watching Deb. She's got great rolls with one side and the other, not crossing over, which we've been working on. This is now Brian. Brian, we've been working on your left arm, really watching that it doesn't just slide through and pulling underneath you, but otherwise really great. Chris, your stroke is really, really nice. It's nice and long. We know your back's really hurting today, but this was excellent. I thought you had a really nice stroke. Nice high elbow, long through the long axis of the body. Moving on to John. John, your stroke is really looking really, really good. You're leading a little bit with your shoulders. You think you're really driving through on your shoulders, so think more about driving with your hips. This is Brian. Brian, same thing. You're driving with your shoulder as opposed to driving with your hips. Drive through the stroke with your hips and your shoulders will follow. Okay, so just watch that right here. So back to Deb again. A little bit better shot. Nice high elbow, driving from the hips. You can see the hip driving down with the shoulder, not the shoulder driving with the hips following. Roseanne, great stroke. Again, we're trying to get that stroke a little smoother. You can see how quickly you recover with that right arm. We really want to create that flow and that smoothness in the stroke. So to almost too smooth is Phil now. So Phil, you can see how when you're breathing out one side, how you have that almost gallop to the stroke. We want to smooth that out so there's not so much up and down. This is Phil again. So too much up and down motion. We want to keep driving forward with the stroke. You're putting too much power and not enough finesse into the stroke. This is Paul. Paul, your stroke is looking great. Your head probably could come down into the water just a little bit. I know this camera angle isn't great. You'll see when you come back. But otherwise, I think the key there is just a greater catch. Try to get a little bit more pressure on the stroke before you pull, because otherwise there's a nice rhythm to it. This is Murray. Murray, you're what we call a little bit static in the sense that your arms are doing one thing at a time. So you can see how you're finishing one complete stroke before you start the next. So really think about trying to make a little bit more flow. This is Bob. Bob, you really progressed over this hour. I think it's really important that we start with just the basics of getting the chest down into the water and keeping those arms a little wider. Roger, again, watching that hand entry. See how on the left hand, your palm is actually touching the water before, and I get a little better shot later on, but before the hand actually goes in. So it's really important that you work on that. Here, Brian, you're going to see that left arm a little bit better here as it goes underneath the body. We really want to work on that. You're losing power through that. Otherwise, your stroke is looking really, really nice. Moving over to Chris again, nice and long. Again, Chris, you too have to watch a little bit. You see right back there, that left-hand stroke, just a little bit too underneath the body. You want to keep it out on the side of the body a little bit more as you pull through under the water. Focusing here on Brian as he's coming down. Brian, again, really watch that crossover. So you're right on the line, a little bit crossing over on that left side and having to correct. So just a little wider will create a lot more power for you. So Roseanne, as you're coming in here, you can actually even come in a little bit with that left arm, or sorry, that would be your right arm. Your right arm can actually come in a little bit and drive forward just ever so slightly more. And John, a little choppy. We'd like to see it sort of smoother into the water. You can see how much pressure, bang, as that right arm comes down, just to create a little bit less slap into the water and just pushing straight down. So probably working on the catch will actually give you more power to let your arm smoothly come into the water. This is Paul, I believe. Yes. It's a good wide stroke, Paul. The only thing is, I've mentioned to a few other people, think about driving more with your hips. You've got very strong shoulders. Think about driving with your hips more and let the shoulders come with the hips. And Phil, you're with the right arm. You see how far you're crossing under as you do that gallop type stroke. If you rewind this, you'll see that few strokes there, your right arm was crossing well underneath the center line of your body. This, I believe, is Roger. Coming in here, Roger. So again, hand entry. We've been working on trying to get those fingers to touch before the hand goes in. And I would, you know, I don't prescribe to the wide finger catch, so I'd close those fingers up too. You'll be able to grab more water. Murray, you see here the crossing over the tapping and the wishy-washy back and forth. So that's, if we make it a little bit more independent, working on a nice easy recovery, I think a catch-up drill is a great drill for you because it's going to force you to get a little bit more balance in the water. And Bob, this is great. I think you know, you have a nice, smooth, rhythmical stroke. Definitely working on your catch will create more momentum and allow you to cruise through a little bit easier. So again, guys, hope to see you in 2 weeks, and absolutely a great time having you. All the best. We'll see you guys later.